Today I fucked up by sexualizing food. So my wife and I have been staying at my in-laws' house during quarantine. They're chefs and enjoy feeding me, so I've been in heaven. Anyway, I wake up this morning next to my hungry wife. I'm sleepy and a little frisky, so I start snuggling her, dragging her back into bed. Wife, stop, breakfast is ready. There's dumplings. My horny fat ass, tell me more. Hungry wife losing patience with my dad's special sauce. Crickets. I move away slowly in horrific shock. Velp, she won, we're having dumplings, and I don't think I'll ever recover from this. Worse yet, her dad's dumplings and special sauce are shamefully delicious. Feel dirty. Too long didn't read. I wanted sex, but my wife wanted dumplings with dad's special sauce, and now I need therapy. This made my day. This made me hungry. Let me give you my special sauce first. Done. Up your immature dirty talk, my dude. The internet has officially ruined the phrase special sauce for me. Should have asserted dominance, yanked her towards you, looked deep into her eyes and said, my sauce is more than special, it's EXQUISITE. How does one speak in a font? Yeah, hard pass on that one. Today I fucked up by trying to spare my wife, and saying her cooking was great. Happened yesterday. The fallout happened about an hour ago. My wife likes to cook, and under normal circumstances, she is a good cook. Not what I would call skilled, but she has no problems making everything you can think of. But she is far from confident. She gets really discouraged when she tries making something and screws it up. And I hate that. So she is making Christmas treats for coworkers, parties, etc. She has this little signature Christmas treat she makes with club crackers, caramel, chocolate, and marshmallow that is a massive hit. Anyway, one of her friends asked her last week to make some of those for their Christmas party this weekend, and she agreed to bring some with her. It was a work-related thing, so I wasn't planning on going. He called yesterday and added something new that she had never made before, chocolate bourbon balls. She agreed that she would love to give them a try, and said she would bring those as well. I didn't know any of this. This is key to the story. I knew she was going to a party. That's it. So last night, she's slaving away in the kitchen and comes out with a little plate with one of the bourbon balls and asks me to try it. It looked amazing. Milk chocolate little ball of awesomeness. She said it was alcohol-free though. She works in recovery, and most people she works with are either in the field, or recovering alcoholics, and I bit into one. My taste buds first hit the chocolate, which was awesome. But quickly, this wave of something over the top smacks me in the face. She immediately keyed in on my reaction. What is it? Is it not good? I could immediately see the disappointment in my wife's face, and I had to man up. She had worked for hours on these things. Multiple trips to the store. I just couldn't do it. This is awesome. What's in it? Is it almonds? She had a huge sign of relief. Yes, it's almond extract. The recipe they sent me said to substitute that for the bourbon. I take another bite, determined to power through this, so I down the rest of the thing. The taste is overpowering. My eyes start watering. What's wrong? I swallow as quickly as possible to get the taste out of my mouth, almost half choking, which I immediately use to my advantage. Must not have chewed that one all the way. Had something stuck in my throat. Oh, okay. And she gets a big smile and turns to head back to the kitchen, pleased of her work. I figured I would slowly chunk them in the trash over the course of the week or something, so I wouldn't have to endure it again, because it was potent. It hurt. My stomach was in knots the rest of the night. She asks me this afternoon if I would like another bourbon ball. I say no, and ask for the other goodies she made, as I hadn't had any. She said she didn't have any extra, and I'd had to wait till she made some for our family on Tuesday, Christmas Eve. I go on about my day, getting a few things done around the house, preparing for people to come over. She finally runs off to get ready to head to her Christmas work party. As she is about to leave, she kisses me bye, and says she'll be home around 10:30 or so, and tells me there are leftovers in the fridge. So she takes off, and me and the dogs kick back on the couch and catch up on some TV. Dinner time rolls around, and I head into the kitchen to warm up the leftover casserole she had in the fridge, and then I see it, the fucking bourbon balls are gone. Oh god, what have I done? I sat there contemplating for a bit. Should I call and tell her I lied to her and there is something wrong with them? I just panicked. Eventually, I hung all my hopes on maybe it was just the one that was screwed up. Surely, she tried one and it must have been okay, right? I kept telling myself this over and over. Shortly after 8:45, my wife calls. It wasn't just the one. The scene she described was like something out of a horror movie. Two people had vomited heavily in the middle of the party. She was covered in vomit, and the place was a disaster. She needed me to read her off the ingredients as they were rushing two people to the hospital. Holy crap, everyone has now been checked out and all are okay. Reacts to different people differently apparently, and the doctors were apparently concerned at first about the amount of arsenic they may have consumed. Apparently, there can be arsenic in almond extract. I had no idea, but everyone has checked out fine, and all is back to normal. We quickly discovered the issue. I guess she didn't understand that extract is more like a concentrate. You don't match up measurements to use it as a replacement for something. The recipe called for 1 cup of bourbon. She had put in something around a cup of almond extract into her concoction. Too long didn't read. I lied when my wife asked me if the alcohol-free bourbon balls she had just baked were okay, even though they burned my eyes and throat. She took them to a party, vomiting and trips to the hospital for a couple of people. She inadvertently put in 1 Cuban peso of almond extract in replacement of the 1 cup of bourbon. Everyone is okay. My wife is both furious and humiliated. Update, to answer a couple of massively repeated questions. 1. She intentionally purchased alcohol-free extract. It's a thing. 2. She didn't try them because she hates bourbon, and didn't think she would like them regardless. I love it. Which is why she had me taste them, and also why this is my fuck up, and not posted in today me wife fuck it up. 3. We had a long talk. We've been married almost 15 years, so this is something we've learned to do well. I can honestly say I've never done this before. I've never disliked anything she made, ever. I've suggested ways to improve some things in the past, add salt here, try this, etc., but I've honestly never had this issue. There is nothing else my wife makes that I will not eat. I've agreed to never let this happen again, and she's agreed to grow a thicker skin about her cooking. We came out better from the experience, so it's a positive. 4. She did tell me cyanide, not arsenic. Just remembered poison and thought that was what she had told me. There was a doctor at this party, several actually, that once were told what had happened, knew that may be an issue, which is why they rushed those people to the hospital. They clearly said it was just precautionary, and had they not the horrific reactions some had, they wouldn't have been terribly concerned as each one of those balls would have been far from any sort of lethal dose. They only sell tiny bottles at the grocery store too. She must have bought quite a few. It's also expensive. Wonder if she used real or artificial. It's incredible that she didn't taste them herself or that she didn't comprehend what extract/concentrate means. That is the definition of a good cook. You can follow directions well, but you don't have the knowledge/creativity to critically assess what the recipe says. Get her in the habit of tasting as she cooks. Just because she's only a good cook doesn't mean she can't become great. To an extent, it's a learned skill. Deleted. If she couldn't taste that herself, she shouldn't be cooking. Not being snarky, but a cook's tool is their taste bud. She's a blind photographer. Ever? That's not an easy mistake to make. I really don't understand why people lie about food. I cook and I know for a fact that the steak I made for kids does not go down well with my wife. Each time I always ask how they like it better next time and adjust. It's just part of life. Everyone has different taste buds and they change. Someone telling you it needs a bit more salt or needs to be cooked more doesn't mean your food is crap. It's just suggestions to help improve the experience next time. Your wife needs to grow thicker skin and you need to stop telling lies. Part of being married is being open and honest. Today I fucked up by forgetting to remove my condom. Yeah. I just started browsing Reddit more and never really post, so I figure why not. Now's the time. I'm always being told on how I should write a book about my life because there's always something crazy happening to me every month or so. It's ridiculous. Anyways, here's a today I fucked up moment that happened to me when I was 19. So I was dating this girl and my mom was out of town for a week and I had my GF at the time come over. Obviously it wasn't long until we start fooling around, taking our clothes off as we're making our way to my bedroom upstairs. We do our dirty deed, to which I remember lasting 2 entire Linkin Park songs, Smile Smile Frown. As soon as we finished, I can hear something going on downstairs. I knew I locked the door so I wasn't too worried. Then I hear the sound of the door opening. I immediately jump out of bed, grab my housecoat, and run downstairs only to be greeted by my aunt who was checking up on me and the house. Surprise, my mom gave her a spare key. So I see my aunt, and I knew the situation looked bad. Having clothes all over, me being in a housecoat, but whatever, I try and make small talk anyways and tell her everything is fine and that she can leave. Right as she's about to turn around and leave, we heard a splotch sound. Her eyes shoot down. My eyes shoot down. There in front of our eyes is the used, filled condom that fell off my penis. I didn't even notice myself going flaccid while talking to her, and it just F/king slid off. It was one of the most uncomfortable moments I've ever had to this day. As for closure of the story, nothing happened. It was a silent moment of awkwardness, but yet she still understood, turned around, and left. I went back upstairs to my GF wanting to have round 2, and I just turned over in a fetal position and went to sleep. TL, Doctor, my condom fell off my penis in front of my aunt and caused an extremely awkward situation to be in. Edit, corrected my poor writing abilities, lack thereof. Turned around and left. This doesn't sound correct according to the simulations I've seen. Turned around and left. This doesn't sound correct according to the simulations fanfics I've seen written. Pro tip, when you're explicitly talking about how filled condom fell off your penis after sex, you do not need to censor the word fucking. Fucking hell, that must have been brutal. Considering I still wasn't out of my shell yet at that time and age, it very much was hell. Probably the only time I was ever speechless in the literal sense. Great way to show dominance. I should have stared her right in the eye when it happened. Somewhere between. Forward from Meteora 013 plus empty spaces from 1000 suns 018 equals 031. And the little things give you away from minutes to midnight 623 plus a line in the sand from the hunting party 635 equals 1258.